Jochen Engert from FlixBus, one of the superstar companies always coming to NOAH. Hello, really glad to have you. I think we both navigated through some rough waters as conference organizers and bus companies. So I'm interested to hear how is it going with you. And I saw some news in America. I'm very excited because for the first time a European company buys a very big, iconic American company. So hopefully you tell us a little bit about what happened with the Greyhound. Thank you so much.
Happy to do so. And Marco, thanks for the nice introduction and kind words. And if I can think of one industry that's been hit harder than we were, or that sort of long distance mobility and travel overall, then it's probably big events and conferences. And so we're in the same boat, same bus, whatever you want to call it. So as always, happy to be here. And happy to sort of give you a bit of an update on what's happening on our end. So let me quickly guide you through where we stand, what happened at Flix over the past 2 years and the years before. So today, where we are is pretty much we're back on a growth track, which is good news, and that's been difficult to say for quite some time now. Just to quickly recap, we're in 37 countries. That's pretty much everywhere. So we cover Europe, cover the US, obviously, and I'll come to that in a second. And other market leaders in Turkey. We're covering over 5,000 destinations globally. We've gone multimodal towards bus and train. So I have a big train fleet in Germany and also in Sweden. And as I said, we're back on a growth track, and that's remarkable if you look at where we've come from over the past 18, 24 months. Just to quickly recap what we do. We basically do everything but the operations of the fleet. So we very much focus on the branding, the marketing piece, all the network and optimization, all the pricing that happens on our network, which is highly complicated. Ultimately, we're very much focused on the customer experience and leave the operations to partners of ours. This can be usually family-owned businesses, bus operators, and meanwhile also train operators. And then they operate the branded fleet for us. So it's very asset light, it's highly scalable. And we're, as I said, very much focused on the brand and customer experience. Then I think overall, and Marco quickly alluded to it, the market that we're in is huge, is gigantic globally. It's very much driven by big macro trends. So car ownership is going down. Travel still continues to increase, especially on long distance. Shared mobility is a market that's growing massively over individual mobility in general. And obviously, as we're having green and sustainability as a key topic also of this conference, it's very much focused on sustainability. And we with Flix Train and FlixBus have by far the best also CO2 footprint in the industry, even beating the trains if you look at the different countries that we're operating in, and no-brainer for cars and planes. So that's kind of where we are, and that's the market that we're in. And then we look at the COVID situation. Of course, there's been some tough times behind us, and I'd say a more complicated winter ahead of us. But still, we feel like we're also in a post-COVID world, we're seeing that a lot of the trends are favoring what we're doing. No question that everything that's digital, that's customer-friendly, etc., is going to benefit from it. We also see that the flexibility that we can provide in terms of last-minute changes, etc., is something that customers appreciate, and where we're well positioned for. And this is the good news for us. Domestic traveling and tourism is coming back really quickly. We see this pretty much every holiday. Thanksgiving in the US just recently. Christmas is going to be good for us also across Europe, etc. And especially the younger crowd is going back to travel very fast once especially government measures are lifting. And that's kind of where we are. And then what happened through the pandemic, for sure, this has been a big shock for us. And unfortunately, the last year's conference didn't really happen. So just to give you a quick run through what happened over the last year, we basically put our entire network on pause last year in March, April, and then had to rebuild it over the summer. Incredible achievement by the team to first be very flexible and very fast in adapting our supply to the demand on a very granular level. So we've done a lot of work, build tech and build tools around that to be able to ultimately match the existing demand in a very precise way. And then also, and that's something I think that unites us with many travel companies, we continue to invest into tech. So really use the crisis as a catalyst to speed up automation, efficiency overall on our platform, and build an even leaner and much more scalable platform. And Mark alluded to it. And then we used it, this very sort of historic crisis in our industry, to also consolidate our markets further, and not only onboard smaller competitors that are joining our platform, but also execute on the larger strategic deals. And that's where we kind of ended up being in a position where I think we're ultimately very much stronger post-crisis than before we even went into. And just to sort of quickly, again, recap where we're heading and what the strategy behind is. First, we're still very focused on Europe, still a lot to do in terms of consolidating the market further, expanding into few remaining white spots that are here, and then really building out our low-cost rail product across Europe. I'll come to that in a second. Building the business into the global market leader. We already are there today, but there's still a lot of white spots, greenfield markets where we're still about to launch. We're the clear market leaders in the US, in Turkey, just recently launched into Brazil, which is a massive opportunity, and there's much more to come towards, especially Asia and South America. And then we've always been a business that has been trying to keep a healthy balance between growth and profitability, so really continue to focus on driving profitability, scalability, efficiency overall, and then we'll continue to do so going forward. And then I said, especially our M&A track record, I think, has been very strong. We've done a few dozen deals over the past few years. I've always integrated this on our data platform, in the end, and technology platform, and I've done this with the help of our superior team. And this is really unique in our industry, and ultimately what sets us apart from competition. And then just quickly looking at Europe, I said we're clearly on track to consolidate Europe further, really continue to grow the business also here, add more products, services, add train on top, and really building a large business on double-digit EBITDA margins. And I said there's more sort of weakness of the competition that we can now use to consolidate further and really build a very, very large and big market that's generating continuous profits for us. Looking at Turkey, I think a showcase example where we entered through M&A, so bought the largest player, very old school business, own operations, integrated model, etc. We've effectively turned it around over the course of 12, 18 months, transitioned to a partner model, the typical Flix model, integrated it in our tech stack, now is run out of the plain vanilla Flix platform, and really turned the business around completely towards the Flix model, and now use this as a consolidation platform again to sort of drive market growth and profitability here further. And then Mark alluded to it, I think the big step that we've recently finalized, we actually looked at the US for a long time and just tried to find the right moment in time when we could execute on the opportunity. So what we did was ultimately execute the transaction on the acquisition of Greyhound. So we bought the old incumbent that's out there, and we'll do the same as we've done in Turkey, really over time, integrated onto the Flix platform, very much focus on customer experience, and really make sure that we also revive that old business. We'll continue to use both brands. That's the typical question that we keep getting. And this will, in the end, again, deliver a very, very big stronghold for us, continue to deliver strong profitability also over the next few years. And we're by now the clear market leader in the US, and we'll also use this as a further expansion platform to continue to expand our offering in the US and also the neighboring countries there. So quickly, also looking at our train business, which is the long-term driver of our growth, that's how we see it. It's very unique that we're actually able to deliver such a product. It's based on our existing brand recognition. It's the same platform, same customer base. We even enhance our customer segments. And we built it on a large network. So we have the largest network in Germany, meanwhile, and also added Sweden to the mix. And that's basically what happened. So still see Corona impact in 2020, also in 21. But with sort of our efforts in terms of expanding market share, driving consolidation, etc., we see a very strong rebound, particularly towards next year, on track to deliver somewhere north of 100 million passengers run rate. And then, as I said, go back to the growth track that we've been before. And I think, as I said, ultimately, it's going to be healthy for us and we'll be returning stronger out of this pandemic. So talk through the major points. I think huge market, massive opportunity. We're the only truly global player, and then our best position to continue to drive growth, consolidation, ultimately profitability. And this will turn the world green. And so we'll continue to not only make the roads, but meanwhile also the tracks green. And our next step, and that's why I kind of put the shirt under it, is to really fuel up Greyhound. So that's what we're going to be focused on to continue to drive our story in the US, as Marco said, as one of the few, I guess, European companies ultimately not only expanded to the US, but made it to the clear market leadership there. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of what our team has achieved through the pandemic. So thanks a lot for listening and enjoy the conference.